So it's time to put this work tabletop together. So I've got some screws, I've got a power screwdriver, and I've got some glue, and that's all we're going to need to attach these braces across the 5 areas that are going to be the foundation for our work tabletop that we're going to attach to the sawhorses that you see below. And very easy, spread out a little bit of glue, get that bearer on in the position that you marked out. Just make sure that it's square. Doesn't have to be perfect, but square is nice. And then sink in one of these screws or 2 of these screws to hold it in place. And I'm not pre-drilling these. This is softwood, and they pretty much go straight in. You know, just tap the back of that drill and push it straight in. And then same idea with the rest of these braces. Just make sure it's square. And with this one, I got the screws started already, so I could just put them in the right position on top of some glue, and you can see how easily they all go in, and we end up with pretty nice solid foundation for our work tabletop. So we'll just flip that up the right way. Yeah, and before we put the tops on, just going to use a drill and these old coach bolts that I found to give it a secure attachment to these sawhorses, because I don't want it to slip off or move around when I'm trying to do work on it. So I'm just clamping the frame in place, and yeah, just drilling a hole through the braces, yeah, and dropping a coach bolt through, and repeating that on 4 corners, and then I end up with a pretty solid attachment that's not going anywhere when I'm doing some work on it on those sawhorses, but it's also easy to remove. So here's the tabletops. Let's see how they turned out. They've been left for 24 hours, but the glue is probably set before then. Yeah. Yeah, and it seems pretty nice and solid. I'm happy with that. And the next part is really easy. We're just going to attach this top with some screws, and I've pre-drilled them already. And again, we're just making a really solid kind of pallet, so I'm replacing nails with glue and screws. And this helps, you know, bring everything down nice and flat. But importantly, I'm sinking those screws in as deeply as I can. You know, you want to sink them a good few millimeters down into the surface of that wood, because now I'm going to try and clean it up with this belt sander, and I don't want the belt sander to be sanding screws when it should just be sanding wood. So I gave it a go, but I realized that needed something a little bit more heavy duty, so I've attached this electric planer to a vacuum cleaner. And this is really important to have the screws sunk in nice and deeply, because if you hit a screw with a planer, it's going to damage the planer blades, and then they're quite expensive. So that's really important to have those screws sunk in nice and deeply. And then the planer's made the job of the belt sander really easy. We just have to clean up the surface there and get a nice level, comfortable surface to work on. It's very solid and secure. And again, the materials didn't cost anything. They were just salvaged from old pallets. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It's going to have a rough life, so it doesn't have to look too gorgeous when you finish. It just needs to be solid. And again, I've got a space for my tools and bits and pieces that I'm using in the middle. It won't move anywhere. And if I need a large surface area, I can just stick a board in the middle like that. and also really useful. I can put a block in the middle, which gives me something to work against if I have to chisel or sand. And I can also mount power tools like this table saw on it just by drilling a hole in the surface and dropping some bolts or something like that through. So anyway, hope you've enjoyed watching this short couple of videos about how to make a work tabletop for some sawhorses, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.